Recording in progress. Okay, wonderful. We are live. Hello, Alex.
Hello,
It's
hello.
me, Yanis, on the other side. Today's agenda, I think we want to talk about platform risk and fancy things like
Yes.
that. I'm actually not that. I've
Yeah.
heard I've heard that we need to do certain things to avoid platform risk, but
Yeah.
yeah, Alex, what do you think about it? And
So basically, there is this when you're a creator, uh, especially like on social platforms, like whatever it is, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube. The thing is that the reality is that you are one click away from losing your whole audience. And when I say one click away, is that people shouldn't be afraid. Is like, but if someone in Twitter's office decides that tomorrow, okay, this Alex guy, I don't like him, just like delete account, then that can happen in the sense. Obviously, it won't happen if you don't do anything shady, but there is a chance that that happens, right? So the thing is that as creators, we are kind of building in rented grounds in the sense of, okay, I'm building my audience on Twitter, but I don't own Twitter, so I don't really own my audience. So that's one thing that all creators at least should be aware of, that there is like this danger, so to say, existing. So that's the first thing, be aware that this can happen. But then the second thing is that don't be afraid that this can happen to you. Is highly unlikely if you compile with the terms and services of the company. Like if you don't do anything weird, usually nothing can happen.
or you
But
don't get too popular,
yeah,
like
exactly.
like Joe Rogan.
Yeah, but the one example is, for example, Jack Butcher, obviously from Visualize Value,
Right, right.
has
Yeah.
had another account which was like the Add Value, which is like great handle, by the way. I don't know how much he must have paid for that, but and I remember that he was trying to build this as and turn it like into like another content platform for kind of his brand. But then suddenly one day he got it like blocked by Twitter. I don't remember. I don't know why. What happened?
I think it was because he was too much cross promoting, because basically
Yeah,
he posts from
something
one
like that,
account
right?
and then he retweets to his Visualize Value, Jack Butcher, and
Yeah.
Value. And I think it was because of too much cross promotion
Mm.
and something
Yeah.
something.
So when that happens, it was when like the platform risk thing kind of clicked in me, and I was like, okay, so if they're like, Jack Butcher, who is like a power user, let's say Twitter power user, they can do this to him, then what can they do to me? Like I'm just like a little fish in this sea. So yeah, I don't know if you ever thought about it. So I'm curious. I mean, you said that you don't think too much about it, but I
I
don't know.
I I have thought about it, but I think I think what I now really remember is that this was an advice that a lot of bloggers back in the days pushed for. Build an email list, build an email list, build an email list, and they just repeat it so many times that you think it's some sort of super mandatory thing. And I think it's completely pointless, especially at the beginning. I think at the beginning you really need to lean in and do like Twitter. That's my main suggestion is but and build the email list, a bit later when you have some sort of momentum
Yeah.
and if you have really something to say there. I guess there could be exceptions. We have Substack and some people who are like journalists or something,
Mhm.
writing something very insightful. It might be a different case for different people, but
That's true.
but don't get too obsessed about. I think early on you were just it'll just waste time because nobody will read those emails, but you'll send that email to your mother and your friend
Yeah.
because yeah, it's not
Yeah.
that easy to get those subscribers as well. But it's definitely a
Yeah.
thing. um
Yeah, I was going to say that's great advice. Like on the don't build your email list too early, because when you're starting out, you should 100% be super ultra laser focused on one platform and growing
mhm.
that thing, and then later you can think about diversifying. So I started building my email list. I don't know what stage I was, but it was like quite later on my, let's say, Twitter career.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah.
um yeah, what I wanted to say is that, but yeah, the email is this kind of, I think you have a nice theme and stuff you write about pretty much weekly.
Mhm.
but I kind of struggle because I'm like an asshole, who asks for these emails. But I don't know. I try one thing and I don't like it. I don't enjoy it, and then I'm thinking like, what the hell? I should send you through that email, and it's a bit. I don't know. I feel a bit like a stupid
I
jerk
guess
asking for these
I
emails.
guess one question is that do you really need to be sending something, or maybe you
Well,
can be like super upfront with it and be like, okay, I just want your email just in case.
well,
know?
I was actually thinking about it because I think it's another like big Twitter star is Daniel Vassallo, and he's like doing his own thing, and I think he has specifically said get notified when I release new products or have something important to say. And that's
Yeah.
like, yeah, that's pretty cool. But I kind of want to figure out this email thing as well. But yeah, if not,
I
then I
like
will
that approach.
probably go that approach and just like, guys, yeah, sorry, I'm just too scared of my future, so I want to have your
Yeah.
email and send you something
Yeah.
then.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I like that. I like that approach. I think it makes a lot of sense. It's just like, okay, leave your email here. Like you appreciate me as a creator. Just leave your email here, and I will let you know when I have something meaningful to say. I won't bother you with, I know, 2 emails a week like others do. But at the same time, I understand that you wanted to find like some sort of way of communicating with your audience via email, because I think it's a super interesting channel. I have a newsletter, and it's not huge. It's around 2,000 subscribers right now, but I really like it because it's a, even if Twitter is like similar in that sense, but it's like a super personal channel, like one-on-one. Sometimes when I launch like a new issue, whatever, I get like responses and people asking me things, and it's like, I don't know, it feels like a different communication channel, and I don't know, I like it, and I think it's wise for you to try to find a way to communicate with
yeah,
your audience in that sense too.
yeah, for sure. And I think I definitely will find a way like in future because I nobody knows, but I don't see myself, being extremely active on socials, 10 years from now.
Yeah.
Probably it might be some auto posting there. I will not maybe engage, I have my little circle of friends or, whatever in Discord, have my little community, but you
Yeah.
can't, be everywhere. And then, email might be, I think, a nice platform that you own those email addresses, and of course you need to always to remember, to download the CSV file with those emails and maybe save on some hard drive because
uh,
whatever your ConvertKit might go
I had
whatever.
I had like a pretty big scare like a few weeks ago in that sense, because I was using Review, and it's like this free platform that
Mm-hmm.
Twitter bought. And it's okay, but it has like some bugs or whatever. And then one day I just log in and I was going to write my newsletter, and then I click like on the subscribers tab, and there is nothing there, and I'm like, what the fuck? And of course, I've never like the being the lazy person that I am, I've never
Mhm.
downloaded my subscribers, so there's nothing there. I'm like, whoa, I, but then I quickly like send an email to them, hey, what the fuck happened here? And then it was like just a bug where subscribers were there, but they didn't show on the web
Okay.
app or something like that.
Okay.
But after that day, I was like, okay, downloading
Still
every
got the
day.
cold sweats.
Yeah, 100%. Because I still have obviously my Twitter audience, but I'm super focused on growing my newsletter just because of this platform risk and because it's a cool communication channel too. So I'm like super focused on getting as many emails as I can right now, because obviously, as I said, we are building on rented grounds, and I love Twitter. I absolutely love it. But at the same time, things can change fast, so you never know what can happen with your Twitter account. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, another point, there's always like later on when you focus on building one platform, then you can like start another one. I think recently you started Instagram as well. I started it
Yeah.
a bit early on.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's nice to have like multiple platforms. And yeah, I think another advice or tip I would have if somebody wants to start an email list and understand that, okay, I want to do it. What definitely initially don't pay for any paid things
Mm.
like ConvertKit or anything or MailChimp or whatever. I think it's very unnecessary. There
Yeah.
is this free, Substack, or from Twitter, there is this Rue or GetRue or whatever,
Yeah,
whatever it's
that's the
called.
one.
And they have nice integration with Twitter that you can like, people can subscribe with one click through Twitter and use one of those platforms or something else, which is free. And the only thing you need to make sure is that you are able to download the email lists there, and that's all you need to start. You don't need, I think, to buy anything like that, like I did 3 years ago, without having any audience, just because I thought, okay, fancy people are using these platforms, so I'll have something as well, and I'll just set everything up just for sake of fun.
Yeah, that's another common trap for new creators, right? Like falling into using the same tools that top creators using, thinking that it's the tool what makes the creator, and not the creator, that makes the tool. So it's just go for the free, cheap stuff. No, not cheap, like free, easy to use stuff first, and then you can always later migrate and scale and so on. Yeah.
And the free stuff is so good. In many cases, it's often better than the paid stuff. So definitely, maybe it was the case years ago, but I don't know. Just there's so much indie hackers making awesome things for niche problems. So, okay. Any final comments? What we talked about? We talked about platform risk. We understood that we don't know too much about it, but having an email list is probably a good idea. But I think I might go Daniel style, and I need to figure out, because I don't know. I always think that I will be a bit freer, then I will have a bit more time, but I always still am busy. I don't know. Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever.
My only final word is like, don't spread yourself too thin, especially early on. Like focus, grow one platform, and then once it reaches certain growth, and when I say certain growth is like real growth, like 10K followers, 15K followers, then you can start to think about, maybe I will do Instagram, or maybe I will do LinkedIn or whatever. And the email list, the same. I just started doing Instagram now that I have like 20,000 followers, and I just do it. I mean, I'm not even doing it. I'm just posting stuff that I'm not paying too much attention. Maybe I should pay a bit more of attention there, because it's an interesting platform, because I'm mixing it with like visuals and so on, but whatever. The thing, focus one platform at a time, and then don't worry too much about platform risk, but always have like the email list on your head. So
love it. Okay, let's end it there. Cheers, everybody.